Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be about slow motion, why it's great for comedy and sketches in general, how to set it on your Sony A7 III, and you're going to get an exclusive sketch with the Michael Henry. Slow motion is funny to me because it's unusual to the eye. You're getting access to like a different version of what reality really is, and you're seeing something frame by frame, moment by moment. You're seeing an emotion, you're seeing a reaction, you're seeing a flirtation, you're seeing a romantic vibe. It's definitely something you can't see with your normal eyes, and you can only see through the cinematic experience. Unless you could see reality in slow motion, which would be pretty cool, and you're like a robot.
That's definitely in our future, by the way.
That's why I love using slow motion, and I use it in a different variety of ways on my sketches and content I shoot. Now we're gonna cut to my guest this week, Michael Henry, and see what he has to say about slow motion. Michael? Michael? Hey, how you feeling out there?
I feel great. It's a lovely day in the park.
Oh, good, good, good. Are you ready to talk about slow motion?
Yes, slow motion is my passion.
So what do you think about slow motion?
Whenever I want something to be extra epic or sexual or intense, I always love to make it be in slow motion because it just adds that extra oomph.
Now, if you've seen the sketches I filmed with Michael, you'll know that we've used a lot of slow motion in the past. Now, when I'm talking about emotions, realizations, embarrassments, well, let's take a look at some examples. So what if you were happy? How would that look in slow motion? Wow, that was great. What if someone was sad? How would that look in slow motion? Feel bad for him. Say you're filming a scene and you're at a bar and you want a romantic connection between two different people. Wow, that's a lot of flirtation. Honestly, this wouldn't be a video about slow motion and how it works in comedy sketches if I didn't have this. Clean up on aisle 4. Now, before I talk about how you set slow motion on your Sony A7 III or the exclusive sketch featuring Michael Henry, if you like content like this and you like learning behind the scenes of shooting content and sketches, why don't you hit the subscribe button below, like the video, maybe feed it a comment. Now, if you're filming on the Sony A7 III, there's two different ways you could set slow motion on your camera. There's the S&Q mode, which is right on the dial, which stands for slow and quick. You can change to a slow motion setting by the frames per second, or you can eventually make it into a fast motion setting by adjusting the frames per second. Now this is a great setting because you'll be able to watch your slow motion in playback. So on your camera, you'll be able to actually watch the slow motion video, while the next option, you won't be able to watch it in camera, but you do have to adjust it in post-production. The second option is on your camera menu, you go and change your settings to HD from 4K to HD, and you change to 120 frames a second at 100 megabytes. Like I said though, this version, you cannot watch it in camera. You can only watch it once you export to your computer, and QuickTime will actually allow you to watch it in slow motion. The one thing about this, it does record audio, so you kind of do get a fun slow motion sound effect when you're filming people, like, maybe yelling or cheering, stuff like that. It does sound pretty cool in that respect. And even though it says it records at 100 megabytes per second, once you divide that by 4, obviously then that's 25 megabytes per second. Then you factor in the audio that's recording with the video. Then it really knocks it down to about, like 18 megabytes per second, 19 megabytes per second, something like that, maybe a little lower, 17. So you're really only getting a marginal difference from the 12 megabytes per second on the S&Q to adjusting it in your camera menu. I do use both. It depends what situation I'm in. S&Q I find quicker because I can just switch it over. In the camera, I find cool sometimes because then I get that audio and I can kind of hear that reverb, that slow motion audio that you're getting live from the camera. Now, slow motion adds a little extra layer to a sketch that you wouldn't get with regular speed. So here is an exclusive sketch featuring Michael Henry and myself. Check it out.
Nobody touches my 6-inch.
Good old Subway. So whether you like that sketch in regular speed, slow motion, or maybe you didn't like the sketch at all, which is fair, I just find that slow motion heightens the reality of a sketch, and it offers a hyper-realism to your eye that you wouldn't normally experience. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, whether you watched it from Michael, or whether you watched it to learn about Sony A7 III, or whether you watch it for slow motion, or whether you watched it just because you were bored and we're all in a quarantine pandemic. Whatever the reason you watched it is, thank you. And hopefully you all have a wonderful 2021. I can't wait to see what everyone has in store. If you guys are creating content, if you have any comments to share with me, I would love to hear them. And be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. I think that's it. Yeah, you ready?
Uh-huh. Should I look up? Be looking up? Or...
Yeah, I think you look up.
Right.
And action.
Stop doing that.